Today is January 24th. It's Thursday, which means tomorrow is your Module 3 test. So tomorrow you'll be coming to school and you'll get a chance to show what you know about working with fractions, okay? You'll also be turning in your workbook so that I can look through and see how well you've been using your time and using those resources, and also so I can swap it out and give you Module 4 so that you're ready for Module 4 on Monday. Okay, so make sure you bring your workbook tomorrow. Because our test is tomorrow, today is all about reviewing and helping us make sure we understand and clarify any misconceptions we might have about working with fractions. Let's first start by talking about today's problem of the day. It says a baker buys a 5-pound bag of sugar. She uses 1 2/3 pounds of it to make some muffins and 2 3/4 pounds of it to make a cake. How much sugar does she have left? So your first step of the RDW process is R. What does R stand for? Read and understand the problem. Very good. Go ahead and make sure you wrote down what the question is asking and the important information. Rahi, what's the question asking us?
The question's asking us how much sugar does she have?
Very good. We want to find out how much sugar the baker has left. What important information do we have in order to figure that out? Joseph?
She bought a 5-pound bag.
She starts with a 5-pound bag. Very good.
She uses 1 2/3
She used 1 2/3 pounds. And
and
then she uses 2 3/4 pounds. Good. So let me ask you a question, because our next step is D, which stands for? Draw. Very good. Are we starting with small amounts and swishing them together to add them up? Or are we starting out with a big amount and taking things away? Very good. So let's draw a big amount of tape for our tape diagram. And how much does the baker start out with? Everyone? 5 pounds. Very good. Okay. Then she uses some of it. How much does she use at first? 1 2/3 pounds. Then she uses some more. How much does she use next? 2 3/4 pounds. And everything here is what she has left. Give me a thumbs up if your tape diagram looked like this. Very nice. That is probably the hardest part of solving word problems, is making sure you understand the problem. Okay? And if you can draw a correct tape diagram, that shows that you understand. And all you need to do from there is W, which is write equations. Very good. And then, of course, you have to solve the equations correctly, but you should be able to do that. So I'm going to have 2 equations here. First, I'm going to need to find out how much the baker used up all together, okay, which is this amount right here. So what equation could I use to help me figure out how much the baker used up all together? Geffen?
1 2/3
1
plus 2 3/4.
2/3 plus 2 3/4. Awesome. Am I ready to add? No, because I have different units. My first term, what kind of units do I have? Thirds. My second term, what kind of units do I have? So I'm going to have to find a new unit that's common, right? I have to find my least common denominator, which will be?
12.
Very good. So now let's multiply by versions of 1. 1 2/3 times some version of 1 will give me 1 and some number of 12ths. What version of 1 should I use, everyone? 4/4, which means that 1 2/3 is the same as 1 and 8/12. Very good. Okay, now, 2 3/4 can also be multiplied by some version of 1 to get 2 and some number of 12ths. What version of 1 should I use, everyone? 3/3, which means that 2 3/4 is equivalent to 2 and? So therefore, instead of doing 1 2/3 plus 2 3/4, I can add 1 8/12 plus 2 9/12. Okay, let's add the whole numbers first. What's 1 plus 2? 3. Now let's add the fractions. If I have 8/12 and I add 9 more 12ths, how many 12ths do I have? 17 12ths. Do I have a hole hidden in there? So if I had 3 holes, but I have a hidden hole, how many holes do I have altogether? How many 12ths do I have left over?
5.
So is my final answer 4 5/12 of a pound? No, but we added it. 4 5/12 of a pound. What does that represent? How much he used. Very good. So if I know that he used up 4 5/12 of a pound, how can I figure out then how much is left, this part right here? What does the tape diagram show that I need to do? Homer?
You can subtract 4 5/12 from 5.
Good. I can subtract 4 5/12 from 5. Now, I could do 5 minus 4 is 1, but then I don't have a fraction part to work with, right? So what do I have to do with that fraction part? I have to break it out. So let's take away one of those holes. Now I have 4 holes left, but how can I write that missing hole as a fraction, everyone? 12 twelfths. So this is the same as 4 and 12 twelfths minus 4 and 5 twelfths. Well, the whole number part, 4 and 4, I have 0 holes left. If I had 12 twelfths and I take away 5 twelfths, how many twelfths do I have left?
7.
So the answer is 7 twelfths, but that would only get me half the credit. 7 twelfths of a pound. Very good. And that's how much the baker has left.